Welcome friends, it's Caleigh Bird, and today we are going to be talking about the same thing everybody else is, coronavirus. However, we are going to be talking about something that no one else is, and that is specifically how it is affecting us artists. So make sure you go ahead and pop that subscribe button while you're here, because next week I'm actually going to have a collaborative video with 4 other artists, and we're all going to be talking about how we're dealing with this together, although individually. If you are curious about the supplies I'm using today, this is an aerosol background and an oil painting, so you can pop down below. I've got links. If you order any supplies through those, you help me support this channel, so thank you very much. So let's get this party started. So over the last few weeks, I have put out polls on both my Instagram and YouTube asking artists about what their concerns are with the coronavirus and social distancing. And the responses were pretty evenly split 3 ways, between missing out on art sales, missing out on art classes, and missing out on art exhibits. So I'm going to cover all 3 of those concerns today, and then I've got a little positivity for you at the end. So first and foremost, I know a lot of us are very concerned about our income right now, so we'll jump right into the art sales aspect. Now, the good news is that there are a lot of folks out there who would have the extra cash to be able to afford art who are still working and still making money. So the good news is that it's not like the entire country has lost all of their jobs or all of their income. I mean, there are plenty of folks working in Silicon Valley and, you know, all these kind of high money making endeavors that are totally able to still make plenty of money from home. So the good news is that it's not all gone. Now, what you might want to do is think about possibly having a special pricing during this time of need, because the folks that are sort of to the medium low echelon of making money are struggling right now. Those folks, if those are some of your target audience and those are some of the folks that normally buy your art, they're not going to be right now. You know, the higher end stuff you don't have to worry about as much, but the mid-range, yeah, that's where you're going to be struggling. So think about maybe coming out with some products or items that are less expensive, and or making some smaller, less expensive works, or just saying to heck with it. You know, we're all in this together. I'm going to discount everything in my shop 20%, which I think what I'm going to do. I think I would like to just kind of discount my things because I already have a nice wide range of items. So that's one way to kind of help boost sales a little bit. And honestly, right now is a really good time to sort of start incubating a new audience, because I don't know if you've noticed, but my social media has been kind of popping off because it seems like there's a lot of people sitting around at home with a lot of time on their hands. Go figure. So right now, if you're not making a lot of sales, what you can be doing is spending that time pumping up your social media so that people will be ready to buy as soon as they can again later. Now, of course, sales in the future does not equal money in your pocket right now. So if you really, really need to be earning some money like today, if you have any skills, there are a lot of places that are marketable online, for example. So if you are a graphic designer, you're good at logos, that kind of thing, maybe even editing videos or whatnot, making GIFs. There are so many different jobs like that, little gig jobs available on Fiverr.com. I don't know if you've heard of them, but I have personally bought probably at least half a dozen or more different services off of there over the years. They're excellent, and you can get started with your own skills pretty much immediately. Also, tutoring, my goodness, like the entire country is home from school, and there are plenty of kids whose parents still have an income. So online tutoring is probably going to be a great way to make some money right now. There are so many of these websites out there looking for tutors for elementary, middle, high school, college students, all kinds of students, basically every subject you can think of. And most of these, you do not have to have like a degree or a teaching degree in order to become a tutor. A lot of them actually employ college students. So if you can just show or prove that you have proficiency in whatever specific subject that you're good at, you can pretty much get signed up to start tutoring like immediately. There's also a lot of them for the SATs and all those MCAT and all these kind of crazy tests. I don't even know what all the letters mean, but there are so many tutoring positions available. Not to mention the ESL, the English as a Second Language. There's a ton of online ESL opportunities. And you do not need to speak the language of the child. Like, you do not need to speak Chinese or whatever that the child speaks natively. You just need to go on there and sit on the webcam with them for 30 minutes or an hour and correct their pronunciation of English. Like, it is totally feasible to make some good money immediately starting with the skills you already have. So a good part of any artist practice or art business is to constantly be honing and refining your skills. So we've all got a break right now, whether you like it or not. So take this time to get better at something that you've been meaning to get better at, or to try out a whole new type of supplies or a whole new style, or, watch those tutorials that have been being saved up in your gonna watch later YouTube video stash. It's time to focus on yourself a little bit, which is a great segue into the next part, which is people being concerned about missing out on art classes. Now, obviously, this is a YouTube video. Obviously, there are about 1 million other YouTube videos. So that is a wonderful way. Sit down, bust out the sketchbook, get out the paints, and just start watching some tutorials. It's a great time for that. We've got nothing but time on our hands. Also, Skillshare. I don't know if you're familiar with Skillshare. Everybody's been chatting about it. I actually recently got on Skillshare, just coincidentally. I wasn't even doing it because of the pandemic, but it's just been on my to-do list and finally got the chance to do it. So if you haven't heard of it, it's this platform where there are thousands of people posting all kinds of tutorials on not only art, but also running a small business and computer tutorials and all kinds of stuff. I actually have a special link down below, since I just got signed up, that gives you 2 free months. So if you go through my special link, it helps to support my channel, as well as gives you 2 free months to thousands, like tens of thousands of really detailed, nice tutorials. I mean, YouTube is wonderful, but the tutorials on Skillshare are way more in depth. So I would highly recommend doing some of those things. Now is a really good time to hone some of your life drawing skills. So go around your house, look for some interesting objects, set them up as a still life to paint or draw from. The possibilities are literally endless. I had an art teacher that would make us draw our hands over and over and over and over. Like, I have literally drawn my hands like thousands of times, and you know what? I hated it at the time, but oh my gosh, it helped me so much in the long run. So literally, as long as you have an extra hand or foot around, you've got a subject you can draw or paint from. And if you are more of a figure artist like I am, of course, we don't have figure drawing sessions right now, so check down below. There are a few websites that I like that have figure drawing references. Now, it's certainly not the same looking at it as a screen or on a screen versus in person, but it's the next best thing if you want to just keep those skills up. Now, I know one of the best aspects of taking art classes is having an instructor to give you feedback, and although we can't really give feedback on YouTube, there is a way to kind of get feedback on your specific projects through Skillshare, which is great. But if you would like somebody's eyes on your work that you're working on in your own studio right now, your birdie has got you covered, because I already offer artist technique and art biz mentoring services, and I have gone ahead and reduced my rates during this pandemic so that we can all be brought a little bit closer together. Holler if you'd like to work with Birdie one-on-one. I'd love to see ya. Now, of course, art exhibits are pretty much out the window right now. Since we can't socially gather, we certainly can't socially gather around to look at your art, and that is a super shame. However, like I said earlier, the social aspect of the social media thing going on has been exploding. I have seen so many artists pumping each other up, tagging each other, doing chains, following online prompts, that kind of thing. So now is the time to pump up your social medias. I've seen a few artists doing chats through IG Live. You can connect two people. That's really fun. Like I mentioned, the online project prompts, there's a lot of hashtags and project prompts and all kinds of fun things going on to kind of make you feel more in the community. I've been doing some live painting on IGTV, so that's a nice thing, maybe making a stop motion kind of thing. Or I figured that maybe we should even start our own little hashtag. So I came up with the idea, hashtag coronavirus creations, where we can share anything that we're working on creatively during this process. It doesn't necessarily have to be a visual representation of the virus in any way, but just so we can kind of all see like, I'm in sequester and this is what I'm doing. So make sure if you're making anything cool, pop in the coronavirus creations hashtag at the end and check out what other folks are doing. Let's encourage each other to stay creative and stay motivated and stay positive during this very unmotivating, unpositive, and disastrous time. Now, of course, just like everything else in life, this too shall pass. So take this time to set yourself up for success whenever the floodgates are open and we're actually allowed to leave our house again. Go ahead and follow, engage, and support with your favorite galleries, venues, arts organizations, whatever that you find on Instagram and other social medias. Because right now they are struggling too. They're struggling to have people on their businesses because they're having to shutter their doors. So if you are here showing your support, your love during hard times, they are going to remember you fondly when you show up in person, or maybe send in your portfolio to see about having a show or being part of a group thing there. So now is the time to show folks that you appreciate them, and later on they will appreciate you. So I know we're all going to be struggling for a little while, and really the best we can do is just try to hold tight. Just think about that right now is a wonderful time. Even if we didn't ask for it, it's a wonderful time for investing in yourself, learning, practicing your art, and catching up on your to-do list. Go ahead and thoroughly clean and organize your studio. Make that project that has been sitting on the back burner forever. Finish that half-finished project over in the corner. We just got to distract and be creative, and that's going to be the best thing to get us through. So honestly, really the best bet right now is just to sit tight, do the best you can, staying at home, try not to go out, try to have as least amount of contact as possible, yada yada. I know you've heard everything. I know it's really stressful, but at these times right now, we just have to be creative in trying to find alternatives to the normal things we usually do. So one of the things that I usually like to do is to like go to coffee shops or go to a library or whatever, just to get out of my place. I find it much easier for me to get like my boring like administrative work done, or like the YouTube editing, or like all this kind of stuff. I find it much easier if I'm away from my house, and obviously right now we can't really do that. So luckily my mom and I had already built this amazing little table desk for me to use in the passenger side up front in Vaughan here. So I've literally just been making my own hot tea and coming out and finding some free Wi-Fi. I'm actually out front of a McDonald's right now because I find that like McDonald's has like some of the strongest Wi-Fi in parking lots. I figured this out by traveling. So I'm just out here set up, you know, I'm not going inside, like I'm not going to get anything to eat like that. I'm just here for maybe like 2 to 3 hours, pretty much until I need to go home and use the little girl's room. And yeah, this is sort of my alternative. So you just have to think about ways that you can do other things instead of doing the normal things that you want to do. I know it's frustrating, but we will get through this together, guys. You just have to have a positive spirit. I mean, the nice thing is there is one silver lining. And this sounds bad, but whatever. Misery loves company. The fact that everybody is going through this, like not even just in your region or just in our country, like everyone in the world, basically every single person in the developed world is being affected by this right now. So although you're like, I thought you said it was a silver lining. Yeah, just wait. It's very sad and tragic that everyone in the world is being affected. But the good thing is that you're so not alone. We're not alone. Like, it's not like you're gonna be the one guy on your block who's having a hard time paying your rent or mortgage. I mean, that's just not gonna be the case. Now, although the, federal government right now is not exactly run by the most brilliant person, hopefully they'll get their shiz together enough and come up with some sort of like some kind of financial help or leniency or debt forgiveness or something. So just, hold tight. I'm counting on it too. I also wanted to add too, on a personal note, I know from the outside in, it kind of looked like, oh, Caleigh Bird, she's just sitting on the farm, sitting pretty, everything's good. Oh, look, she gets to go hiking. No problem for her. She doesn't have a day job, but that's like not really the case. I'm actually having to cancel a number of modeling gigs. I had all these places that I was going to be applying to teach, and now I'm holding off on that. So, maybe right now at this moment I'm okay, because I was already scheduled to be in the middle of nowhere at a little farm, pretty much in self-isolation already. So right now my day-to-day life hasn't been terribly impacted, but the fact is that I don't have like any of my future gigs to look forward to at all. So I just want you guys to know that although I am keeping it chipper, I am with you. I like basically all of my foreseeable future money, not all of it, but a large part has just gotten wiped clean. And I also want to say that I have worked in the food service industry for years. I was a barista, bartender, waitress. I was also an art teacher. So I have done a lot of service industry things. So really, if this would have happened like up until just about 3 or 4 months ago, you know, especially like when I was living in Hawaii with super high rent, like I would have been freaking out too, because I have been in a, you know, sort of a paycheck to paycheck position, or tip to tip, I should say, position for many, many years. So right now, the fact that I don't have a house, like I don't have rent or anything going on, my parents are at the point where I can go stay with them, and, you know, but like right now, I just want you guys to know that I'm in this with you. Like, and you know, I'm not expecting a whole lot of online sales coming up anytime soon, and teaching opportunities, who knows? So, I just want you guys to know that I am here with you. Like you know, my channel is still small. I'm not making a bunch of money on YouTube or any of that kind of stuff. So yeah, we are really all in this together. So I know that's supposed to be a silver lining, but the fact is that we are all, as a collective, gonna have to deal with this. And honestly, in a few months or 6 months or next year or whatever, when everything is like gotten back to normal, we can look back and marvel at like what a shared experience this is. I mean, I know that sounds kind of weird, but think about how shared experiences bring people together, and think about the entire world having a shared experience right now. I mean, that's some existential shiz right there. I mean, that's like, whoa, like talk about you're not alone. So I love you guys. Make sure you pop that subscribe button. If this video helped you, please give it a like so that some more people will see it. Hopefully it'll make some folks feel better. And if you have any suggestions of good productive ways to spend your time as an artist, good ways to maybe make some money as an artist, or just what you're doing to prevent stir craziness while being socially isolated, leave it in the comments. Let's get a discussion going. Let's try to share some positive good things. Like, we need it, guys. We need each other now more than ever. Thank you guys so much for being here. I love you. I couldn't do it without you.